Welcome back to another episode of the Calm Mind, Better Results podcast. It's your boy here, Make-A-Wish, here to drop you some information. So first, let me apologize. There's been a little lapse in how often my information be coming out, because I have so many episodes that I want to make for you guys, get you guys thinking and try to better your lives, get some things flowing, that kind of stuff. This one here, though, is something that I recently realized like a day or two ago. I was thinking about it. I said, all the episodes I have coming out is being combobulated with so much. I'm taking so much information in so fast that it's hard for me to think about this. But like I said, a day or two ago, I had this realization. I want you to think about this. Who trained you, or who taught you how to be in a relationship? Who? As you stop, if you need to pause the video, give yourself a good breakdown who it was who introduced you to what it's like to be in a relationship, or what to expect to be in a relationship, and how you should handle yourself within a relationship. And the results may astound you. Like, in all honesty, there's never been any formal training, nothing that taught you or showed you directly how to be in a relationship. And that's one of the reasons why. What was the number I looked at? I did a few little quick research things about one. What was it? The amount of people that are happy in a relationship. I think it was just one was it? I looked over a few of them over like a census, but mostly in America. And it's like 33% of the people say they actually were happy in a relationship. There's a lot of people in America, And what was I want to look at? The divorce rate? I forget. It was some other big statistical number that actually mattered, But more for now, most relationships. Yeah, that's what it was. How long the relationship lasts, or how long was it keep it together, was low numbers, like 92% of relationships end before the first 3 to 5 years of a relationship. Whereas something I forget some number was something super exorbitantly low. And the point is, though, no one really taught you how to be in a relationship, and most of our actual formal training of relationships comes from what we gather, what we see in our life growing up. Let's say, for one, if you're in a mom and dad relationship, that is one of the biggest influences in regards to what you take in, what you see as a relationship, what you expect a relationship to be like. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people, when they get into a relationship, their relationship that they're looking at going into is going to be a mirror image to some degree of the great things that they saw and their parents doing, or even the bad things, because we don't really realize what's good or what's bad until someone tells us that it's wrong. And that's one of the issues we have there. The only time we actually start learning how to properly develop and nurture a relationship is after we have had several bad relationships, typically, and going forward, we don't want to have things going wrong. Or we are in a 13, 14, 5-year, 3-year, 37-year long marriage, and we want something to change for the better. Only after we have problems with the relationships that we have do we decide that we want to make some kind of changes to try to improve that. And that is what I've been realizing actually a big fundamental flaw in the situation. Why wait until after we have problems to learn how to properly take care of the person that we love? If we're in a relationship with someone, we care about them. We want to make something happen with them. Or let's say we get married to someone. We want to make sure our spouse is happy with us. So why is it that we don't take our time to properly learn how to take care of the needs of our spouse to make our relationship better, so we could go forward stronger as a unit. Why is that? Pride, misinformation, misconstrued information. Everything we said, like we were never trained at. Like one of the biggest issue with that is that we feel to lack, maybe incorrectly saying that, feel to lack communication. That's not what I mean to say. That we don't always articulate how we feel with our spouse, and then each side of our relationship, we don't actually stop and act upon the information that our spouse is giving to us. But more often than not, everyone isn't very bluntly direct and tell each other what we directly need. And so we are forced to read between the lines, look at all the small signs, all the little things about why our spouse is mad. When even though the spouse is mad at this, the reason actually why they're upset is over here that led to this being situation in the first place. You know, those kind of small things. So like I said, we don't typically look at the big picture going into things. And the thing about this, like as I'm sitting there thinking about this, at what point in time would it make sense to actually introduce to a person, which obviously is going to be children, not adults? Because hear me out, we'll get to in a second. When to properly start training for how to be in a relationship. Because there's no other way around this. Everyone, the human race, is fully dependent upon relationships. Point blank period. No matter which way you cut it. We are driven to want to be, we're driven by society to be socially accepted, to be forced to be in a relationship, if you rather want to be in or not. But even then, as humans, we are designed strictly to have to be in a relationship for us to be happy. Happy, you know what I'm saying? So, we can't grow in society without being in relationships. And the relationships that we are in tend to be fucked up because we do not know properly how to cater to our relationship once we're inside of it. Everyone desires to be in a relationship at an early age. Whereas as kids, and I gotta look at the actual numbers, which by next time I talk about this, I probably had the actual numbers in. But I want to say between the ages of 7 to 10, give or take, depending on what you're subjected to as a child, you're not really considering being in a relationship with somebody else. And then we hit the teens, so when you're in middle school, typically you're flooded with different people's perspectives and what you should be wanting in that person, even though you should be focusing on your schoolwork, you know what I'm saying? But that desire didn't start growing into us until, you know, teenage, acne, ball dropping, periods developing, that kind of stuff. So, like, at what point in time would you actually incorporate that? So that's actually one reason why I think that might not be a curriculum at school to actually have training in properly nurturing and caring to someone in a relationship, you know? So I'll think about that. But all that side jargon aside, we don't have training typically, or we don't seek training typically of how to develop relationships until we have problems, or we're having consistent problems all the time with several relationships. That's one of the key things we have. Because actually one thing I want to make sure we're clear about. Just because you are in a long-lasting relationship, or you see people who've been together for 35, 45 years, does not mean they were in a healthy relationship whatsoever. If you actually were to drive into them and dig into them, see what actually going on, you might find out that one person was really toxic. The other person was just very submissive and gave in to things. Or they just accepted things for how they were and for the longevity of the marriage. Or you hear all the time where people stay together for 18 years simply because they want to keep hold of the kids. Make sure they're all going to the same school, all being two-parent household having two incomes and all this good jazz. And as soon as the kids leave the house, now the empty nesters, they divorce. Those kind of things. Like, how many times do we have to go through horrible relationships or see horrible relationships for us to not expect that to be the norm? Like, there is no such thing. There is absolutely no such thing as a perfect relationship. If you think you're in a perfect relationship, you are probably, let me say, 87% of the chance, you're probably the person in the relationship who is toxic. And you have more control of the relationship. If you ask your partner about that information, how much are their needs being taken care of, you'll come to find out that that isn't a perfect relationship. Don't get me wrong, though, there are relationships that actually are very, very, very fully functional, fully healthy, and all that good jazz, but sporadically, things come and go. Life happens all the time. So, relationships, healthy relationships, and being able to properly take care of the other person in a relationship while still getting your own needs satisfied are the three important key things that I will be trying to talk to you more about when this talk about relationship building and how to better take care of your relationship. So I'm not going to get too much further into this because this is, there's so many different aspects to talk about how to better make your relationship, how to cater to your relationship, how to better cater to yourself. And like I said, just keep following the channel. You'll see a whole bunch of things that I'm going to do as I am digging further into my own analysis of myself and to better my life coaching business. I will be explaining information to you guys. Because the more information we have out there, which my catchphrase is, help the world become better one person at a time, starting with you. So that actually is a very true statement. And we can have better relationships, not just our interpersonal relationships romantically. We're talking about our friendships as well, our co-workerships, our parental, what's it called? Familiarships? I don't know. I'm gonna make some more words up that probably makes sense, that actually covers things. But yeah, those kind of things. So on that note, I'm gonna get off this one on this little rant, and you can expect some more things to talk about more soon recently. Because like I said, I gotta start dumping off my list of episodes to make for this channel. So as I already said, my catchphrase: the world can become better. Only we do that one person at a time, starting with you. Make a wish. Out.